and I'm sure it's the way forward. And again, I would like to compliment Mel and his team for doing a fantastic job to crown green bowlers, and hopefully to non-crown green bowlers who take up the sport. There are always people I'm hearing about who take up the sport at whatever age, ladies and gentlemen, youngsters, elderly people who say, I wish I'd known about this sport when I was a young man, I've only come across it by chance. We do have development officers out there who are trying to introduce, again, bowlers of all ages, youngsters. We're now pushing for people over 60, for example. I know the government is keen to get over 60 people involved in sports of all kinds, and we're certainly trying our best to get bowlers on board of all ages. Hopefully we're all pulling together.
I mean, this week he was just talking about introducing new people. The Midland Masters was shown on Talking Bowls and 21 Up this week, and it was won by Michael Edwards from Staffordshire, and he told some of his work colleagues about it, and they've actually tuned in and watched it, and one of those has sort of said, oh, that looks an easy game, I might have a go at that. Well, it can bring people into the sport.
That's right. Well, Mel was talking to someone as he was coming in and talking about that. As I mentioned earlier, sadly I wasn't able to be at the Midland Masters, but I do know it's again a very popular competition within the Midlands area. Mick Ledwidge, who I've known for a long time, very popular Staffordshire County player, who's actually won his first game here today.
He's done well.
He's done well, because I don't think he knows the green very well.
No.
So I think he would be the outsider of the two. Yeah. And he's here today representing himself, Staffordshire, the James Burke Memorial Midland Masters, and doing a fantastic job. So well done, Mick. And as I said earlier, if you know, or anybody knows who's going to win it, it's a better man than me, because it's a fantastic field.
It is. And I'd just like to thank yourself, John, for all the work you do for the sport as well. It's much appreciated by everyone.
Well, I appreciate that, Mel. I've been involved more years than I care to say. Could I just say, last night, for example, I was at a past president's dinner. I was past president back in 1994, which is 16 years ago by my calculation. I was very fortunate. I look upon it as a privilege. I was there probably because senior people to me had sadly passed away. But I was in the right place at the right time. I enjoy every minute. I'm often accused of being a bowler's nut, but I don't mind being accused of that, because I love administering the sport, playing it, watching it, refereeing when I can. I'd like to get involved with coaching if time allows, but it does make my day just to see so many people here just enjoying a great day out. What I think, obviously I'm biased if you pardon the pun, but I think it's an obviously fantastic sport for people of all ages.
Now for me as well, I've got to say, the highlight of the day for me was seeing the chief executive being the car park attendant outside. That's where I'm going to have to come and film that, I think, when we're done.
Right, well, just to say to anyone who's not familiar with the Waterloo, there's the rear car park and the front car park. I issue rear car park tickets to the players, referees, one or two other officials. There isn't really room for all of those, and I think some who came a little bit later had to go onto the street parking. And the front car park is not very big. The people who are waging bets, the bookmakers, have their equipment to carry, so they have a space. And I've reserved a few spaces, so as Mel says, I was out there from about 9 o'clock till about 11:30. I'm waiting for a guest to arrive, who may arrive hopefully later, from what's now called the Bowls Development Alliance. Hopefully a lady called Susan Cooper will arrive, and hopefully to see probably her first glimpse of, she lives in Devon, I understand, so probably her first glimpse of Crown Green Bowls, hoping to be an eye-opener for her. I'm hoping she arrives later on today to see the latter stages of the competition, and hopefully goes away with good memories, fond memories of what I think obviously is a fantastic sport. And I do appreciate your comments. I love the game, I enjoy doing it, otherwise I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing, and hopefully I'll carry on for a few more years.
So here we are, the final of the 2010 British Crown Green Champion of Champions. A repeat of the final from 2000, Chris Mordew versus Andrew Spragg. Back with me, Roy Armstrong. Should be a good game this, Roy.
Yeah, it should. I think they'll both play long lengths. It's just interesting that the bookmakers have got Andrew Sprague a massive favourite. If you wanted to back him, you'd have to lay 5-2 on. And Chris Mordew is 6-4. I don't think it's anything to do with the way that they play. I think it's just the weight of money. I think they've got a lot more money in their books for Andrew Sprague than what they have for Chris Mordew. So it'll be an interesting battle. As I say, I don't think there'll be any short marks played.
Well, Chrissy just led across the middle, and Andrew just got in. Just going back to the betting, is it weight of money that creates the odds, or do the bookies just pick the fancy, as it were?
Well, they have an opinion. They work very much on current form. They're very well aware of how the various players are playing, but they take into account their form on this green, because that plays a big part in formulating the odds. But today, as I say, I think what would have happened, there'd have been quite a lot of money for Andrew Sprague. So the golden rule in bookmaking is you always bet to the figures. You don't have any personal fancies at this stage of the competition. When you come to the final, you bet to the figures. They've got to try and level the book up to make 2 winners.
So if, say, somebody put £1,000 on a 25-1 shot early in the day, they wouldn't automatically become favourite for the tournament?
No, but if they put that kind of money on at 25-1, the odds would rapidly come down. They'd come down to about 4-1 straight away. To be fair, that kind of a situation would only arise if a player was a very strong outsider.
Yeah. Well, we're having a measure here for the first 10. I think Chris is just looking for 2. That's the one. It's always good just to get the jack in the hand and get yourself a lead first, for the first few hands, isn't it, Roy?
Yeah, you're in the position then to dictate the pattern of play. I'm sure that most players will have come onto the green with a plan. Ideally, of course, you need a plan B, because often when you lose the jack, somebody might play on similar marks to yourself, so it's always as well to have a plan B. But to have the jack in your hand early on, I don't think either of these two players will suffer from nerves. They've both been there before. They'll be very well aware of what it entails, but it's just a case of getting the length straight away. As we've seen in the semi-finals, most of the players have struggled with the length a little bit, and if you have the jack, you're able to dictate the pattern of play where you want to go.
Do you think the fact that Chris defeated Andrew in that final 10 years ago would be in the back of Andrew's mind? Do you think it'd bother him at all?
No, I don't. I think it was a long time ago in modern day terms. 10 years is a long time. They've both played a lot of balls since then.
He's firing here. Yeah, these guys, that's why they play each other so often. They've probably played each other a few times in the last 10 years since that day.
Yeah, I think there's an old saying in bowls, isn't there? There's an old saying, it's all on the day. And it's much of a truism that it is all on the day. And both of these players from 10 years ago will have picked up other bits of experience to probably improve the game, played in big competitions everywhere. So I think they'll be quite steady.
Well, 3-0 to Mordew after 2 ends. He's not going deep into the corners with Andrew. They just, how far would you say he's coming in? 40-45 yard mark, Roy?
Yeah, I think it's very good tactic. This he's playing right through the centre of the green, coming up this way towards the putt is quite heavy. But what a good lead he's got here! Very good lead.
Well, he's certainly settled with 4 good bowls in his first 3 ends. Super Bowl. Of course, Andrew lost in the final of the All England back in July as well to Noel Burrows. One of the best games of bowls I've ever seen. Had the privilege to commentate on that as well. Was you there that day,
Roy Fleetwood.
To my eternal shame, I wasn't there. I had a refereeing assignment, and
All right. Oh,
I'd promised to do that, and Arthur Murray said I could go with him to the event. And usually when Noel Burrows plays anywhere and wins, I'm usually there. So I wasn't able to be there that day, so I was very sorry about that.
it was tremendous. The final was an absolute classic.
You know, Andrew Spraggs licked a real good ball here. You know, Chris Mordy's only about 7 inches off and he's beaten it. This could be the turning point of the game in this early stage.
So, what does Andrew do then, Roy?
Straight for the corners, no question. That's what
Which corner does he go down to the toilet corner, the furthest, or does he try to get on where he had all that success against Mike Ledwidge?
I think he'll go up to the SL Bowling Holiday sign and he'll come back for his favourite corners.
Yeah, Mystic Roy, got it right.
What do I know?
He's playing up through the shadow as well. Sometimes can give the impression it's a little heavier, can't it?
That's right, yeah, they're playing round peg here. They're playing finger peg, biased towards the ditch. Playing about 30 yards. Just about a yard off.
Chris has certainly gone out wide, hasn't it?
Much wider, yeah. It's, too wide, really.
No, Andrew's after this. Is he any farther? No. Chris just wants to know who's in, I think. One to Sprague. Can't see that counting now, Roy, can you?
Much better line this time.
One to Roger. Chris will probably come back across to us with it.
Most of the bookmakers' boards have come down now. They don't like to be caught out betting and running. Very easy to go further in the mire when you do that. So they're satisfied with the day's work.
It was quite funny in the Waterloo final this year when Simon Cope played Jimmy Darby. Someone went up to one of the bookies and asked for a price on the heat in the final. Well, we're just a bit out of sight here now. We can see the bowl of and just about see the jack. Chris's bowl was a yard short, and I think they're signalling to Chris Morgie that last bowl's won.
Very precarious jack. It's only about 2 feet on the green. That's a good bowl of Andy Spragg's. Don't think this will reach.
He just left it short.
Yeah, that's a good bowl from Andy Spragg. Put it out wide because he didn't want to knock anything in. It's not counted. It's only one.
Andrew's still having a look, right?
Well, he's having a measure, yeah.
bit of a mystery measure, we can't see anything from it.
Yeah, Chris was quite confident there that it was only one, and it's interesting. Most of these top players are all very good judges of standing bowls. They get a lot of practice at it, and sometimes I'm quite surprised. Players like Graham Wilson and Gary Ellis and all the top players, they can tell at a glance whether it's only one or two. Going back for his corners again, playing finger peg, playing about 45 yards here.
He's not going to change anything at the moment, is he? He's not really had a go right into the corners. He had a bad lead in the previous end, and Chris got in. Found a better length with his first ball this time, Roy.
Yeah, length is all. That's what it's all about in that corner, length.
Moves in.
To do with the referee being a little bit nearer to the end, because anybody who's betting on this final could do with knowing who's in as well as the players.
Well, it's certainly gone out. Well, the referee's signalled to Chris Mordew. What's he doing here? Got made too, yeah. Interesting, we're talking about the referee here, Roy. It's Mike Potter from Shropshire who's been given the honour of refereeing this final, and he was recently diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and it's marvellous to see him on the green. He's having treatment and so on at the moment, and it's a great occasion for him to have this final, isn't it?
Oh, well, I didn't know that. I mean, I have some experience of Parkinson's disease. My old friend Jim Fortner from Stafford had that, and it's a very debilitating situation. Good luck to him, yeah. I'm very pleased for him. I'm sure he'll relish this occasion.
I interviewed him back in April, and he was telling me it was a very emotional interview with him and his wife, that he was hoping to be here today to do some refereeing, and the British Crown Green has given him the final. I mean, it's very interesting, Roy, because he was telling me when he was sitting interviewing that his hands and things were sort of shaking and tremoring at times, but when he goes on the green and he does a measure and things, his hands are still.
Yes, it is a very strange disease. It manifests itself in all sorts of different ways. But good luck to him, yes, well done.
He's doing a lot of work for the Parkinson Society as well, and I know the one weekend he was involved in some fundraising. I think he raised £2,000 for various bowls events he was involved in. So he's doing a lot for the sport, and his wife is also a qualified referee as well. I'm sure he's here today, and I'm sure she's very proud of him.
Yeah, well, of course, there are quite a lot of famous people that do suffer with Parkinson's, and you can be okay. You can live for quite a long while, like Muhammad Ali and people like that all have it.
We've got one more to Mordew there.
Well, up to now he's stopped Andy Spragg from getting going in his corners, and that's his plan, of course. If he can keep finding a ball and prevent him from having a run in these corners, that's the way to success.
Well, he's 7-2 in front, and each time Andrews County's only had the jack twice, headed for the corner, and he's not had a good lead, Roy. Chrissy's got up and broke the mark up again and got back across the green.
Yeah, and he's changed it a little bit here. He's playing finger peg just underneath the crown this time, to the north stand. A little bit of a downhill finish, but you have to get there first. I think one of the features of the Waterloo is that to the onlooker it looks a flat green, but it does actually have an 11-inch crown, but it's a very gradual crown, so there's very few falling marks on the green. Consequently, you know, length is absolutely vital.
Well, Andrews got in there. Chrissy's played 3 or 4 foot short his lead. He looks a bit big with this one, Roy, is it?
Yes, he's
Gone out. Oh, Mike Potter's having a look around. No, he's indicating he's won it.
Yeah,
Lucky for me, eh?
a little bit better length.
No, Andrews after this one. And he passed that. Oh. And has he knocked him in for two? Oh, having a measure again.
It was an unfortunate ball that. All he wanted was a clear there. Anything to clear that short ball, he would have counted the end.
Yeah, he's got to be disappointed with that, Andrew, isn't he?
Yeah.
Particularly he's already 7-2 down. Been a winner, missing as well, Roy, looking at it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's two. (9-2). Good position to be in a final. So important as this, Roy.
Yeah, it's looks like it's going to be a repeat of the 2000 final, doesn't it, in terms of the result? Coming back up again, back up towards the pub, 45 yards. Very easy to be short coming here.
Through shade, into sun, back into the shade again. Oh, he's gone through a long way with that one. Andrew's bowl's on its way already. Bowl. Just a bit of a reaching mark up here, Roy, isn't it?
Yeah, he left him too much room there, Chris, but he's reached again with this.
Unless he gets a connection. Oh, yeah, as well.
Do you think he played for that?
No, I think someone upstairs helped him with that one. Andrew just shook his head, turned his back on it. Now, that's his response. No. Can he make the trip?
What a
super ball.
What a great ball.
After seeing that fortunate bowler Chris is and shaking his head, he just composed himself and played one of the bowls of the day there, right?
Under enormous pressure then, he could have gone a long way behind, but that was a real super effort by Andrew. He's fed up of going to the SL corner, so he's now going to your toilet corner.
He's going to the toilet. (3-9). And a good crowd, good atmosphere, Roy, today, isn't it?
Oh yes, they helped by a little bit of lubrication as well, but they all enjoy themselves on the stage. It's a really good day to see. Everybody has a real good time.
I presume in your bookmaking days, this is one of your busiest days?
Yes, this was always the Waterloo took place over 4 days, whereas this is only 1 day. And yes, it was always a good day. Always a good day for betting. More often than not, you could just about make a profit on this day.
Would you have taken more money in on the Champions Day than the Waterloo final day was?
Yeah,
you would. I suppose you get a lot of say coach trips and people coming up supporting the mates. Plus the 32 runners finals day compared to 8, isn't it?
Yeah, I think what it is, it's really a question of the time of the year. In years gone by, of course, you would take more money on the Waterloo because it was a full house.
Yeah.
So probably for the last 15 years, no, the Champion of Champions has been much better.
Well, another bad end there. Andrew just hasn't got a lead every time he's gone into a corner.
You can see by looking at his body language, he's getting quite despondent now. As you rightly point out, he hasn't made a lead. He's been 2 yards off and then 3 yards off, which on this green it's no good. An experienced player like Chris Mordew, you can't hope to count those sort of balls against him. Taking his time now, shading his head, shading his eyes rather.
Well, he's 10-3, and I think he's going to go where he played Richard Jackson. I think it's a finger peg mark. I think he plays Roy, didn't it, round here? Just round the crown.
And again, this is all uphill. He's given this some welly, but he certainly needs it.
Well, winner coming in here.
Real good reply that from Andrew.
Can he make the trip? Can he get round it?
Oh, he's got to be so careful here. Any touch on that short bowl will put him in.
He's already knocked him in once. He's cautious. One on the block. 4:10 is left like. How do you think Andrew's going to go back for a corner again?
I think what he might do, he might come into this pub corner to try and get in that other corner.
Well, he scored 4 singles, and each time he sent the jack out, he hasn't played a lead. Not held the jack for 2 ends on the trot.
He's considering, yeah, that's what he's doing. He's going to come back into the pub corner in the hope that he can count here, and then he will go back into the SL corner. Playing finger peg at 35 yards. I don't think that's going to be good enough against Chris Mordew.
He hasn't led at all, has he, Andrew? He's not played a lead inside a yard. He's just got in. So Chris is playing with some 2-8 balls on the green.
Yeah, they're low density balls, so
Can get through it.
they'll be similar to the size of 210. Probably, even though they sound small at 2.8, they're probably decent running balls.
Yeah. Well, that's just has a little bit of a bobble. Can he get on his own? Yeah. Two, shout the crowd. A few of supporters here of Chris Mordew's. Slightly fortunate, but nothing for short, is there, Roy?
No, well, it was there to be done. I mean, his own ball was smacking the way. That in fact was a well played ball.
2. 12-4. Oh, he's halfway there, Roy. No, over halfway now.
Yeah, Andy's getting desperate now. He just can't make that lead to get a real swing in the corners. If he could keep the jack in the corners for about 4 ends, it could be a different story. But he's got a hold on now because Chris is now playing very, very well, playing awkward marks right across the centre of the green, playing thumb peg, about 45 yards here, a good lead going.
He looks confident, Christian, he's all over the green.
Yep, and I think Andy's gone the other peg, he is. just a bit too low.
Two good balls. And slightly bigger target, right?
Yeah, two good balls, but as you say, a bigger target, but he's still got it to do.
Well, he's watching it. Just two. More due two. 14-4. What sort of price would you get on Sprague at this moment then, Roy?
14-4, it'd be 7-1.
Would you get many takers at that?
I wouldn't think so. No, I think these people who are betting, they're very shrewd operators. They can see the way a game's going. You know, they can see that Andrew Sprague's body language means that he's really struggling and he's a little bit despondent. And Mordew's leading so well. Once again, coming thumb peg towards the pub. Got the jack up about 2 yards on.
Gone through the jack at the edge, isn't it?
And that's a good ball.
Behind the crowd.
Only 18 inches off, it's a good ball, that.
It is a very good crowd today, Roy, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was in once and it just fell back.
And he's indicated to Chris Mordew is still in. Chris needs just to come a little bit wide, isn't he, trying to get a length. That's what he's done. See if it's made another. Now, one's going to get a free passage.
Good ball.
Yeah, it's won it, yeah. Ball. He's playing better to Chris Mordew's jack.
He's pulled some really good balls out when he's been under pressure. He just can't lead when he gets the jack.
Andrew supporters are shouting believe. $5.14. 5 singles to Sprague. He's gone a long way now, Roy.
He certainly has. He's got the jack about a yard on in that corner. Very, very difficult to get a ball anywhere near in that corner. If he gets one within a yard, it's a good ball.
Well, he likes this one.
Chris is on a different line. He looks inside the line to me. Going narrowed.
Andrew needs to improve, doesn't he, Roy?
Yeah, he's nearly 5 feet off of that ball, you know. Now then.
The sun's gone again, Roy.
Yeah, if he counts these two, he can mount a fight back. He's on the narrowed side again.
Somebody shouted lead, Sprague. Having a bit of an animated conversation with somebody in the crowd there. the first time he's counted 2 ends. 6-14.
He'll come his favourite finger peg down into the pub corner now. This is a long way, especially where they are with that footer. That footer's only about 1.6 yards on. This is about 58 yards here coming. Finger peg. All uphill.
How far is it on this green then, Roy? Full corner?